Hello, good morning everybody. How's everyone doing? So here's Bitcoin in a strong downtrend with a little bit of a bear flag forming. The daily candle is a bearish sideways, candle. So we're sideways in a bear flag. The problem with this bear flag is when you can see it and it's this obvious. And to me, it does look like we've got a two ways up. But when it looks like this obvious and everybody's looking at it, sometimes it just doesn't break down straight away. And it could be that this, ABC that we've done is just the first leg in a bigger flag pattern. And, we're already, if we look at this downward sequence, we've already done a bigger correction than what I think is this wave 2. Now, sometimes they could extend, and I'm not saying that we're not going to break down here. All of these hourly moving averages say that we're set up to, but it's not a breakdown until it actually breaks down. And so if we break to the upside, we could see a double top here or one more leg. Remember that we were looking for from this, this is why I think sometimes fifth waves fail, and they do fail more than people say. But if we mark this 382 here was the ideal retrace level that we hit, but I'm not ruling out that we don't retest it or bounce a bit more. The levels of shorts are still quite high, even though we've come up a bit. So watching for a breakdown here in Bitcoin dollar. And we could, if I draw this, I've drawn it as a parallel channel by connecting these highs. I think they work better, but that's what we're looking at. Even down on our 15-minute, it's all saying flaggy really, isn't it, in a downtrend underneath these moving averages and looking for a break. So same pattern in Ethereum. Remember, in the US, in Bitcoin US dollar, we're looking for a first target around 3,000, 29.78 at Bitstamp prices. That's our first measured target, and that's the support and resistance back from way back here, and the start of this really parabolic rally that we made in Bitcoin. This 3,000 level is the start. So if we retrace all of the parabolic part of the rally, we come back to at least 3,000. And if we see a squeeze lower to fib support, then 2376 or 2400 in other exchanges. So two levels of support on a breakdown. If we continue lower here, 3,000 and then 2,400, 2,376 area. I have seen some people starting to nibble by and say that they're okay with drops down here. For me, I would rather watch for a bit of better price action, or at least the first of these levels to get hit, and then I might start nibbling away. But that's what I'm expecting anyway. We are, as you can see, quite stretched now with our moving averages spacing out. If I put in an RSI, you can see that we're starting to see some bullish divergence here on the daily. This is when the oscillator makes a higher low and the price is making a lower low. Remember, RSIs are based on closing prices, so you connect the closing prices. So for spikes, it doesn't count. So the fact that we've got, for me, just the fact that we can see this daily bullish divergence makes me, we're no longer at a place where I think that selling has great risk reward. This is we're now at a place where we're this far stretched that, it's better to look for reversal long entries than it is for short entries in Bitcoin. So daily bullish divergence, quite close to 3,000 support, and potentially 2,400. If we do the same exercise here in ETH US dollar, we've got the same pattern. We've bounced from our ideal 382. We've got a little bear flag, but sometimes when everybody's looking at a bear flag and can see it, it's really obvious. We'll bounce first before we break down. And if we do that as a triangle pattern here or a wedge, we could do the same thing in ETH before we break down. On a breakdown in Ethereum, Our ideal targets are between 76 and 79 ETH US dollar. I'm using Coinbase prices for this. So not quite there yet. And again, just be careful because everybody's looking at this and expecting it to go lower. And sometimes, you know, those waves just don't happen when that happens. So if we get, again, if we go up to our daily chart and we'll go to regular candles in ETH US dollar, you can see here's our little sideways bear flag. But again, if we put, I can see divergence on that CCI, but if I put the RSI in this one as well, you can see that on the daily here in ETH US dollar, we've got bullish divergence building in here as well. That's where the oscillator's making a higher low, okay, and price is making a lower low. So let's take a look at this and I'll show you what I mean. Whenever I see that, that's a warning in itself. You know, it's not a good place for new shorts when you see this kind of diversion. It's a sign that a reversal is coming. Not necessarily immediately, but soon usually. So bullish daily divergence in ETH and Bitcoin. So that's where we are with those. We've got, well, there's one outlier, one of them Ripple. Bear flag in Ripple, but you know, no sign of this one breaking down, and actually this one is a little bit more bid as well. So potentially all of these, you know, big hitters, Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, you know, may be all a little bit overdone. We're very close to kind of trend line support here in Ripple as well, and so potentially we see a bounce here. If we measure the legs in Ripple, so we go from this high to the low, we've gone slightly beyond where that 618 level, where I would expect it, where if we would have done one of those C is 61.8 of A corrections. But I think if we could bounce back above that 0.3224 level, you know, maybe we are going to stick it in. If we carry on lower and we make the measured move, all of our targets and our clustered fib levels in Ripple dollar are down here around sort of between 0.15 and 0.17 area for Ripple. So a little bit lower for Ripple dollar. Ripple Bitcoin definitely looks better than this, but that's where we're headed with Ripple dollar. One other one, which I think is lining up for another leg higher, is EOS. Now, EOS has been really oversold. Let's go to the daily. I know some of people are in this. Really oversold. When you look how far stretched we are from these daily moving averages, you know, even if we just bounce back to the daily 20 moving average, that's a massive jump from here in EOS. And what the other good guide is, how far are you away from this 200 moving average? We are really, really stretched out in EOS. So when you see this, you look for the first signs of a snap reversal. This CCI is starting to show a bit of divergence. The RSI in this one went down to 15. That's really low, you know, and in fact in EOS, this is the lowest on this it's ever been since it was, you know, a chart really. So bouncing off the lows, you know, I'm not having huge expectations for EOS. This is definitely a downtrend, but we have hit fib extensions and we've also hit that 942 fib. I know people think I'm crazy, but if you think the 786 fib is the square root of 618 and the 886 fib is the square root of 786, then 942 is the square root of 886. And so in this EOS, and I guess when you get super stretched, that's where you go. In EOS, we tried to bounce from this 886. We had a huge bounce from the 786. So really, this is just the next fib level in the sequence before we hit the all-time lows in this one. So one swing off the lows, and I'm expecting a bigger correction, more of this size here, and at least another swing higher in EOS. So if this was our first wave up, now we're looking for ABC back and another swing higher. So down on an hourly in EOS. Okay, here's our first ABC. So we're looking for here you can see we've completed now an ABC correction, so potentially reached a level where we should be looking for EOS to turn higher from here, and potentially, I say, what we need to see is a breakout of these connected highs and back above these hourly moving averages, and then we'll see another leg higher in EOS. If we don't, you can see that our hourly moving averages have made a little bit of a bearish cross, and if a bigger correction is underway, which it could do, then I wouldn't let it come any lower than here. You guys who are already in it, I would probably keep my stop quite tight under these lows and just wait for a bigger pullback if that happens. So that's EOS.